My dear student, let's talk about least common multiple between two numbers. Over here, I will be talking about the least common multiple between 4 and 6. It simply means you are going to look at the multiplication table of 6, multiplication table of 4, and figure out which number is the same number, common number for both of them. So, let's write down the multiplication table for 4. 4 more, 8, 4 more, 12, 4 more, 16, and 4 more, 20. I can go further, but we'll see if this will be good enough. How about 6? 6 more is 12, and boom, I don't have to go further. 12 is the multiplication for both of the numbers, 4 and 6. So the answer, 12, gonna go right here. And how do you get 12 from the 6? You multiply that by 2. How do you get 12 from 4? You multiply that by 3. That will give you 12. How about 10 and 14? You do the same. 10, 14. All right, let's do the multiplication table for 14. 14 more is 28. 14 more, it's getting complicated. The bigger number, the harder it will become. So therefore, I will suggest you to use the second method I will be talking about soon. But let's keep talking about this. And 14 more is 42. 14 more is 56. 14 more is 70. 14 more is 84. I'm going to stop there. Let's look at 10. 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 and 80. That's where I can stop because I can see 70 is the multiplication common number for both of them. So 70 goes right here. And how do I get 70 from 14? When you multiply that by 5. How do I get 70 from 10? When you multiply that by 7. So that's the first method you can use to calculate and find out what is the least common multiple for the both numbers. And the second method, in my opinion, is the better one. You have to get used to it, but I think it's the better method in this case. So let's just solve both of the questions using the second method. 4 and 6. 4 and 6. Write those down and divide both numbers all the way to the 1 as much as you can. 4 divided by 2 will give you 2. Divide that by 2 will give you 1, and you are done here. How about over here? 6 divide by 2 will give you 3. Divide by 3, that will give you 1. So once you break down the both numbers, pick up the biggest one, which is this. Write down that number, which is 6 times, and figure out which number is on the other side and which are not. So 2 is here, 2 is there. And then look at 2. This is not being there. So you're going to multiply that number, the 6, by the one it's missing here, which is 2. So 6 times 2 is 12. Let's go ahead and write down 12. I said 6 times 2, 12. And 3 times 4 will give you 12 as well. So how about 10 and 14? Can we use the same method for 10 and 14? 10, 14. Divide by 2, you'll get 5. Divide by 5, you'll get 1. And over here, divide by 2, you'll get 7. divide by 7, you'll get 1. Which one is the biggest? This is the biggest. So I'm going to multiply 14 with the number that's not on the other side. So 2 is there. 5 is not there. So I'm going to multiply 14 by 5, which is 70. I said 14 by 5. So 5 goes here. And 70 is the least common multiply. How do I get 70 from 10? Multiplying by 7. So now let's use the same method to answer a few more questions. 3, 9. I don't really have to spend a lot of time on this because 9 is already a power of 3. So all I have to do is write down the multiplication that will give me 9. 3 times 3 will give me 9. And what else will give me 9? 9 times 1 will give me 9. So 9 is the least common number, which is the same number. It is possible with some questions you might have the same number being the least common number. How about 40 and 12? Let's go and calculate that. 40 and 12. Let's divide as much as we can. Divide by 2, you get 20. Divide by 2, you get 10. Divide by 2, you get 5. Divide by 5, you get 1. What else? Over here, divide by 2, you get 6. Divide by 2, you get 3. Divide by 3, you will get 1. So I broke down which one is the biggest. That's the biggest. So let's write down 40 times. And let's look at the number that's not over there. 2 is there. And 2 is also there. But 3 is not there. So multiply 40 by 3, which is 120. 40 times 3. 40 times 3. 40 times 3 will give me 120. How do I get 120? When I multiply that by 10. So using the same method, let's try that for 20 and 16. 20 and 16. Divide by 2, 10. Divide by 2, 5. Divide by 2, 10, 2, 5. Divide by 5, you'll get 1. How about here? Divide by 2, 8, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, 1. A lot of 2's there. Which one is the biggest? This is the biggest, 20. So let's write that down. 20 times. So I have 2 here, I have 2 there. I have 2 here, I have 2 there. And I have more 2's here. That's not being there. So I'm going to write that down. 2 times 2. So what number is that? 20 times 2 times 2 is 80. This part stands for 4, right? 2 times 2 is 4. So 20 times 4 is 80. Excuse me. 20 times 4 is 80. How do I get 80 from 16? I don't know. I'm not good at that, but I'm good at using the calculator. 80 divided by 16 will give you 5. 5. So that means you multiply by 5, you'll get 80. So that's the least common. I think I have 2 more examples. Yeah, let's worry about those as well. 13 and 10. Well, 13 is a number that can only be divided by 13, which means the least common number is you multiply that by 10, you multiply that by 13. So you multiply both numbers with each other, which is 130. So you only do that if you have a number that can only be divided by itself. And how about here? 50 and 15. 50 and 15. So divide that by 2, you get 25. Divide by 5, you get 5. You divide by 5, you get 1. Over here, divide by 3, you get 5. Divide by 5, you get 1. So which one is the biggest? That is the biggest. 50 times 3. 5 is over here, but 3 is not. Multiply 50 by 3, which is 150. So that's the least common number, 150. Okay. 3, 150. How do I get 150 from 15? That's easy. Multiplying by 10. All right, let's practice.